This is Record Royale, where we throw two albums into the ring with one another and see which one comes out on top. This is where it gets juicy though. Okay, so the next one, I think it's Akron, Ohio.
Yeah, that's
Brad,
where
is that familiar?
LeBron James is from. Yeah.
I think LeBron James potentially could be listening to the pod. So shout out to LBJ. And now this is where it gets spicy. Okay. Glendale, California. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
A band? Which band?
System of a Down.
Oh, I think last week.
So if Serge, Darren, Chavo, or the drummer, I can't remember his name, bless you, are listening, what do you think? I gave you, it was pretty good. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I thought I was pretty lenient. So they might have got the word out. And the Armenian people in Glendale, California are loving it. So shout out to you.
Nice.
Also, we have a listener from France, so bonjour. And yes, welcome to episode 3, baby. We've made it. That is number 3. Today we got. This is gonna be pretty cool. We you know, if you don't know our background, you can probably tell by the first 2 episodes, but we're rock and roll kind of dudes. You know, that's where our
Heavy metal, baby.
Baby.
that's what we've grown up listening to. That's what we love. But it doesn't mean we're restricted to that. And we do love all types of music. And we're dipping our feet into pop as hell today. We got Billie Eilish's When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? Versus Ariana Grande's Thank You Next. How'd you go listening to these two throughout the week?
I found it a task to start with. I've got used to it, actually. But when I started, I don't think I've ever listened to a pop record, like a straight pop record all the way through before. Really.
Like force yourself.
I've listened to a lot through passing. Yeah, but you just don't really go for it's always about the singles, really. Mm-hmm. I've never really gone diving into an album. But I think I have a lot more respect after this week, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
It's grown on me.
If we did this 6 months ago, I'd have been the same. But because teaching guitar again, I do teach a lot of these pop songs, like the ones that are in the big charts and stuff. So I've recently had this massive respect. I'm like, man, there's some really well written songs. So I'm getting into. I've been listening to a lot of 5 Seconds of Summer. Harry Styles' new album's really good. So when I put these two on, I was pretty. I knew what I was expecting, but I was very impressed with
Knew the climate,
especially one of them, but I'll get into it later.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Yeah. But it was pretty cool. I actually didn't mind it, but it was a bit hard at first.
Yeah.
But that's like most albums though.
I think Ariana Grande probably was the most difficult for me to get through, but now I like it a lot more than when I started. But Billie Eilish, there's a lot of hip hop elements in it, which I do listen to a bit of hip hop, so it was a bit more.
Same with Ariana Grande.
Yeah, I think there is a lot of trap inspired.
Definitely.
Instrumentation on that one.
Not as much as Billie Eilish's. Mm-hmm. The production was a bit easier for me to digest, but once I got through it, I'm glad I did, for sure.
Yeah. I think I usually listen to a lot of my music in the car, and because we haven't been driving around a lot because of COVID, haven't had a chance to do that. But when I did go to work yesterday, I chucked Ariana Grande's album on, and if you know my car, you know I've got the Mega Bass 2 button.
Yeah.
You guys know my little EQ button that turns up the bass.
Oh yeah.
Some of these tracks, these are very trappy, and the 808s.
Oh, there's some big
808s. And everyone loves a big 808. You'd be lying if you said you didn't. Come on.
Yeah. Have you heard, besides, with Ariana Grande, did you hear any of the songs before? Have you heard the singles? Thank You Next and 7 Rings? And
Yeah. I'd heard that and 7 Rings. That was all I'd heard from that.
I only heard Thank You Next.
Yeah, same. But I remember the first time I heard Billie Eilish, it was, do you know the song I think it's Pretty Little Lies? I don't watch the show, but there was an ad for it. and "Bury a
Yeah.
Friend" was the song for it.
Really?
I remember hearing it and I was like, "Whew, that is
Mm.
fucking sick." And then I because I'd heard of
Yeah.
Billie Eilish, but I never listened to her, and I realized that song's by her, and I was like, "That's mad, really cool."
Mm.
And
Yeah,
just
I
fit
went
the-
back. Oh, I went back to her album before this as well. Her like whatever the mixtape is. Don't Smile at Me, and I surprisingly knew a lot of tracks off that as well, which I didn't think.
Yeah.
I didn't know they
Is
were Billie
Ocean-
Eilish tracks. I thought
everywhere.
they were just
Is
like
Ocean
other-
Eyes on that one? Is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that one.
That song's sick.
Yeah, it was really good. I thought they were just other like contemporaries, which I guess which makes this next album stand out a bit more. That she's really come into her own. She's really stood out from the rest of the crowd
Oh yeah, for sure.
and found a groove for sure.
Big time. When I was in New York, both of them were actually playing when I was there, so I could have gone and
Together?
seen
Same shirt.
Billie Eilish at Radio
Yeah,
City
right.
That'd
Music
been
Hall.
crazy.
Tickets were like unbelievable. I don't know if they were Australian prices for me, but it was like $430, and I want to say they were American.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Would have been pretty dope. And then Ariana Grande was playing at Madison Square Garden, and I did like the Madison Square Garden tour, and when they were setting up for her show, and some of the props she had were just like, it was like cars everywhere. Yeah, I was like, would have been pretty cool if I had listened to this album. Oh, actually, no, this album wouldn't even came out yet. Oh wait, yeah, it would have. Yeah, it would have. So yeah, probably would have gone actually if I'd heard this album before it.
That'd be,
Yeah.
that would have been a
Yeah, that would
spectacle.
have been pretty sick actually. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to get cracking into the deets? Because there's a few of them for
Yeah,
these albums.
for sure. Let's do it.
All right, we'll kick it off with Billie Eilish's. So, it is When We All Fall Asleep, When Do We Go? The debut full length from when it was released. 17-year-old Billie Eilish they're from LA. She's from LA. Released on March 29th, 2019 by Darkroom and I think it's by Interscope Records, and then like a Darkroom break off from that. Interscope, founded in 1990 by Jimmy Irvine.
Yep.
The created Beats. They've released albums from Snoop Dogg, Tupac, Queens of the Stone Age, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, 1975, and the latest 5 Seconds of Summer album as well.
Nice.
Right.
Heaps of
He's
people.
you ever seen the documentary on Jimmy Irvine? On
I
Netflix?
haven't watched it, but I
It's
didn't.
absolutely insane. Like he's just every decade, he has just produced like all of the biggest songs. Like any big song, like Black Eyed Peas, like all of the big tracks in the early 2000s is just him. It's fucking crazy. Yeah.
It was produced by her at the time 21-year-old brother. Did not know he was that young.
Yeah.
Phineas O'Connell. In their bedroom, just at their home. So every song was written by either the both of them or just Phineas. So, but since then he's worked with like Selena Gomez, Camila Cabello, and Halsey.
He has his own stuff as well,
Holy.
doesn't he?
Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah. Yeah, he does his own stuff. I think he's got an EP out, maybe an album, not too sure. But he's also an actor. He was in the last season of Glee.
Yeah, I saw that actually before
Yeah.
any of this happened as well. Like
Yeah, way before.
that was
Glee
his-
finished
Damn.
a
Yeah.
while ago.
Talented
crazy.
man.
He played, he was just in the last season, but never knew that. He's also been in Modern Family, a couple of
Really?
episodes.
There you go.
Apparently. Yeah.
Very
Pretty cool.
talented.
This album had 7 singles. I think they're still pumping out singles.
It was crazy. Going through it, I didn't realize how many of them I knew. I knew so many
Yeah.
of the tracks on this album already.
How many songs are on the album?
14 or 15?
14, yeah. There's
14.
quite a few.
So half the album's been a single.
Yeah.
You Should See Me in a Crown, When the Party's Over, Bury a Friend, Wish You Were Gay, Bad Guy, which came out the same day as the album, like as a single. All the Good Girls Go to Hell, and Ilo Milo, which was only put out as a single a couple of weeks ago.
Jesus.
It's crazy.
4 of them went platinum. Bury a Friend, Wish You Were Gay, Bad Guy, which got to number 1 on the Billboard single charts, and All the Good Girls Go to Hell.
It's insane.
So not bad.
Surely that was the biggest album of last year. Would have to be.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a
Okay.
Won
sec.
some
Sorry,
awards
sorry.
for sure.
Yeah.
I got some stats. I got some numbers. All right. So it debuted at number 1 in over 24 countries, including Australia, UK, and USA. Had over 2.5 million like total album equivalent units, so meaning streams and all that
In the
stuff
first
as
week?
well. In 2019.
Oh,
No, in 2019. So the whole year. First week,
Yeah.
that'd be mental. It was the second most streamed album of 2019.
Right.
Want to have a guess what number one was?
Was it Ariana Grande's album?
No, it wasn't. That was a trick
Ah.
question. It was Post Malone's
yeah.
album.
Makes sense.
But no album sold more vinyl copies last year.
That's
Really?
cool.
There you go.
113,000. Very cool. Yeah. It was the most commercially successful album of the year. And the last time that an artist's debut album went on to do that, want to have a guess? You won't get it.
Is it like Macklemore or something?
Give us
I
a
wouldn't
hint.
say close, but right genre. It's like early 2000s. Early 2000s, like
Eminem?
hip hop, kind of R&B. Nah. Close.
Usher?
50
Damn.
Cent.
50 Cent?
50 Cent's album, Get Rich
Yep.
or Die Trying. That was his debut record, and it was the most commercially successful of the year.
Whoa.
Shout out 50
Come on the
Cent.
show.
Billie, yeah. Grammy. She won Grammy Awards. Cleaned up. Album of the year, best pop vocal album, best engineered album, non-classical, and then Bad Guy won Record of the Year and Song of the Year. And she also won Best New Artist, and then Phineas won Producer of the Year.
Jesus Christ.
So they just won everything.
At the
They just
Grammys.
won the Grammys.
Cleaned house.
Did you see when they were like any videos from the Grammys?
Yeah, when it was all happening, I did see a lot of them. It's just insane.
When like by the last one, you could tell she was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna win again."
yeah, she just knew.
And like it seemed really genuine. She was like, "I really like." I don't know if I deserve it. Oh, she deserves it, but I don't. She was probably just like, "Oh, I'm embarrassed to go up
She
again."
called out. She actually said, funnily enough, she thought that Ariana Grande's album should have got it. She shouted
there you
out
go.
and said that was her favourite of the year. So there you go.
Yeah, right. Winning those, she was the second recording artist ever and the first ever woman to win the ceremony's 4 major categories: Album of the Year, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best New Artist in the same year.
Damn.
Jesus.
So that's pretty big.
That's some Michael Jackson sort of
big.
stuff right there.
17.
It's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
So this is where a quick little comparison between the two before we jump into Ariana Grande. Billboard and Rolling Stone gave it their second best album of the year, behind Ariana Grande's. So both of them.
Really?
So Billboard and
Just
Rolling
like
Stone gave Ariana
reviewing
Grande's
it?
number one. Just like in a
Okay.
tally, like a big
Yep.
list. And then of the albums of the 2010s, Rolling Stone, it was number 31, and Ariana Grande's was number 30.
Wow.
Whoa.
So right next to each other, yeah. Pitchfork gave it the 21st best album of 2019, and New York Times gave it the best album of 2019. That is all I got for numbers. Quick little one though. I'm sure any Office fans, including you two and myself, knew. But My Strange Addiction contains just words from the episode Threat Level Midnight.
And what an app.
And did you know that they actually had to reach out to like Steve Carell, John Krasinski, Mindy Kaling, and BJ Novak for all non-Office listening fans. They're the actors on the shows, and they had to get permission from them because it's actually their voices.
Really?
Yeah.
So they didn't have to go through
Yeah.
like
Just
NBC
through
or
the
whatever.
production
Apparently,
company?
well, apparently not. They just had to go to which I don't know. Maybe they did. They probably did, but they reached out to the actors and they were all like, "Yeah, hell yeah,
Have
sick.
you guys,
It's a cool
have
song
you guys
too."
seen that video of Rainn Wilson interviewing Billie Eilish? Not interviewing, sorry, quizzing her on The Office. It's a pretty good
Really?
watch.
Yeah.
She knows her stuff. She's
Yeah, I'm jealous of her.
That's
in
so
that
funny.
video.
Yeah, me
That
too.
was like
yeah,
that was my strange addiction, like in 2017, The Office.
yeah.
I think I watched it
Yeah.
4 times in a row.
Same, absolutely.
Unfortunately,
Pump
wasted
that
a
show
big chunk of my
a
life watching
lot.
that. Not wasted. What am I talking about?
It's pretty cool though. That song, it does, because she said when they made that beat, it's reminded them of the Threat Level Midnight when he does the Michael Scarn dance,
Yeah.
and it actually does. I reckon it's so like pinpoint, so good. All right, let's dig into "Thank You" next by Ariana Grande, the fifth album from Florida-born Ariana Grande, released on February 8th, 2019 by Republic Records. I've definitely heard of them because they released albums from the Bloodhound Gang in
Really?
1995. Yeah, and then like Amy Winehouse, James Blake, The Weeknd, Lorde, Post Malone, Taylor Swift. They're owned by Universal
Right.
Music. But yeah, the Bloodhound Gang was like one of their first albums. I don't know what album,
There you
but
go.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
The album had about 8 producers all working on different songs and a bunch of other songwriters. I'm not going to list what they've worked on, but Andrew Wanzel, Happy Perez, Tommy Brown, Charles Anderson, Max Martin, Ilya, I don't know how to pronounce that, Brian Baptiste, and Michael Foster. And but Ariana Grande has songwriting credits on all of the songs as well, so she wrote the lyrics as well. There was only 3 singles, and they were all the last 3 tracks on the record. Don't know if you noticed that, but I've never ever seen that before. 7 Rings, Thank You Next, and Break Up With Your Girlfriend, I'm Bored.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty dope. I actually thought that was really cool, yeah. I think, I don't know. I don't know why, because usually you'd think, especially in like with streaming and, you know, pop artists, they want them all at the top so they get the streaming numbers up. You would put them at the start of the album. That's what most people do. So I thought that was pretty cool. I thought it was sick.
Unless you're Billie Eilish and just every single song is a single.
Yeah, true. It goes to show, like, the album was, like, so strong. Well, they might have just thought it was so strong they could chuck them wherever they want.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. All right, there's some numbers for these, because, man. Okay, Thank You Next debuted at number 1, which was her first debut single. It was the most streamed song by a female artist in 24 hours on Spotify ever.
Is it still to this day?
Then 7... No, because 7 Rings debuted at number 1 as well, and it was the most streamed song by anyone in 24 hours. 14.9 million streams in a day. It was also, she was the 3rd artist ever to have 2 songs from the same album debut at number 1. Here's another quiz. Who are the other 2? They're both, like, one's recent and one's in the 90s.
2 songs, one's recent. Let's say
2
Drake.
songs to debut at number 1 from the same album. Yep, Drake's one of them.
And in the 90s, did you say?
Yeah, this one's kind of hard.
I don't know.
Whitney Houston.
Yeah, could be Whitney.
Mariah Carey.
Ah, yeah.
Oh,
okay.
close.
Yeah, kinda. I'd say maybe. I don't know. And then Break Up With Your Girlfriend. Yeah, Break Up With Your Girlfriend, I'm Bored debuted at number 2. And then 7 Rings was at number 1, and Thank You Next was at number 3. And she became the first artist to have the top 3 songs on the charts since the Beatles in 1964.
Oh my god!
Goodness me.
How mental is that?
I had no idea how.
Yeah.
How
I actually think I remember
Jeez.
hearing something like that when it happened. That's just insane.
It's mind blowing.
Go on. The Thank You Next video. Have you seen that one? It's where she's like got all the movie references and stuff. Yeah. It broke the YouTube record for most views in a day. 55 million.
What was the OG?
I'm not too sure. It could have been
Is
anyone
it
really.
Psy? What's his
Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style? That broke some records when it came out.
Well, that broke Justin Bieber's record.
Yeah.
The 1 billion views. It was the second most commercially successful album of 2019 behind Billie Eilish. There you go. Okay. This was like impressed the shit out of me. So I'm gonna read you the timeline of kind of how this album got together. Okay. So August 2018, she released her album Sweetener, so a full length album.
Yeah.
In September 2018, Mac Miller, obviously passed away. September. In October of 2018, she broke off her engagement to Pete Davidson, the actor. In the same month, so there's still 2 months after the album came out, she started recording this album. Apparently, they wrote about 9 songs in a week. In November 3rd, Thank You Next was released. November 30, the video was released, and February the album was released. So she put out 2 albums in like 2 months.
It kind of felt when that all happened, because her relationship with Pete Davidson was like the top news story for a while. It was just like they were the big power couple, and it was also quick. And then the album came out. It almost felt like none of it was real because it was just such good timing that like she just stayed at the forefront of like everyone's mind for like quite a long time, really.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
That's such a quick turnaround. That's
Yeah, it
crazy.
is. Apparently, she was
Insane.
really keen to do it because she noticed like a lot of like rap artists like they just could do that because they could record and just get it out straight away.
Yeah.
She was just over all the waiting, which is fair enough. Relatable, I reckon. So
Absolutely.
she was just like,
Worked
I'm just
well.
going to do it. I'm just going to do it, and it's going to happen. Album debuted at number 1 in 22 countries, including Australia, US. I didn't write UK, but probably. And it had 360,000 equivalent sales, so, with the streams, in the first week.
Mm-hmm.
But it had like 116 actual sales. 116,000. Sorry, 116.
Is the
insane.
metric for that, is it 1,500 listens equals one album sale? Is that what it is?
I have no idea.
I think
That sounds
I'm
about
fairly
right,
sure
though.
it is.
That
yeah.
sounds pretty familiar. It sold over 2 million copies in the US and 70,000 here in Australia. It was as I said before, number 1 album according to Rolling Stone and Billboard. Just nudging out Billie Eilish. And the last thing is, if anyone has ever listened to music in general, you can tell that Seven Rings takes the melody from my favorite things from The Sound of Music.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Neither,
Like,
I didn't
in general,
like it. Yeah.
Whenever that happens in songs, and like, I feel like it always just comes off as cheesy. Even though, like, obviously pop music is cheesy, like that's kind of, it always is, but I'm never a fan of that when it happens.
No, neither.
Yeah.
I did not like it. I didn't get around it.
Alright, should we move on to production? The elements.
There it is.
Yeah, we should dig in. We should. Okay. This is where we can actually talk about the albums, because that was just so much of me talking about how successful
A lot of stats.
the songs
How big
were.
they were.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All right. Well, we'll do production first then. What are your takes?
I think both are pretty incredible as far as production goes, but Billie Eilish's is far better, just because it's so unique. But I think Ariana Grande's album is just it's not as unique, but it's definitely like a very impressive anyway.
It's still
Yeah.
very well done. For
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
It
The vocal
succeeds.
work on Billie Eilish's are just like, so good. It's
It's
like
insane.
actually singing into your ear, or just like whispering into your
Yeah,
ear next to you.
That effect that you find in a lot of the songs, I think it's all throughout actually, but
Like the tremolo effect,
yeah, the tremolo,
the vibrato, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a video of them how they did that, and it's singing through a
It's
fan.
cool there. Oh,
And they just
really?
record that, yeah,
That's it.
which is
I
crazy.
watched the YouTube video of a guy like trying to mimic it.
yeah,
And he just uses like an auto panner and automates the LFO on it, which is
Yeah.
pretty sick.
yeah, it's
Oh
so
my
sick.
god. Yeah, I thought like Billie Eilish's. I would listen to it in my car as well. It felt like my speakers were kind of broken because the bass
Yeah.
is. There's a lot of like saturation
They
Yeah.
let it clip.
in the bass, and I actually love it. Like
Yeah, same.
it's actually I don't know how they got it. He just must have just put a compressor after compressor and just like laid it up. It's crazy that they did all this from their bedroom. as
Yeah,
well.
I know.
no.
Like
My-
it's her just sitting on his bed, just like doing the vocals and stuff.
Yeah. My only beef
crazy.
with this album, it's not really production, but I don't know. It's hard to say because I like the songs. I really like the songs, but when you put them, there's just two completely different sounding songs. Like you have like Bad Guy, Bury a Friend, You Should See Me in a Crown, which are like all this like, I don't know, horror movie type, eerie, over the top kind of theatrical sounding. And then you got like the slower acoustic or just like keys songs. And it's not a knock on them, but I don't know. I feel as though it's too much. There's too much difference in the sound of them. I don't know.
I that's probably my favorite part.
Well,
of
there
the
you go.
album.
Yeah,
Just
I was
like
gonna say
the
that.
difference. Yeah, every song is really memorable because of that. I think. Like
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. I remember all the names for these songs,
Yeah.
where I don't Ariana Grande's.
Yeah.
I think it works as well because of how they flow into one another as well. Like the
Yeah, they
spacing
do.
between the two.
Yeah.
Those type of tracks works really well.
Yeah.
True.
I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely like the huge, like Bury a Friend. That's probably, I think, might be my favorite song on the album.
I reckon that song belongs on like a it could be like a Brockhampton song. I reckon
Yeah,
like the
it
beat
is.
at least. Sounds like
It's
something off
crazy.
Iridescence.
I was gonna say I found a lot this album, a lot of Yeezus. heaps of Kanye.
Yeah, Bury
I
a
think
Friend. That is
there's-
like Black Skinhead for sure.
There's heaps of it all
Yeah.
through it. And there's also
there's a part
sorry.
in the song 8 where it's got, I think it's like a backing vocal. It sounds exactly like a Kanye West song. It's just like this auto-tuned backing vocal, like the song with the ukulele, the song 8. It's just like, it is so Kanye West.
I looked up because I thought that was like my first thing when I listened to the album properly through the first time. And I looked up just to see if she gives credit to Kanye, because I was like, that must be her biggest thing. And yeah, she did say that Yeezus was like a massive thing, as well as Tyler the Creator. That was like two of her biggest influences.
Goblin's one of her favorites.
Oh, that's sick then.
Changed
That's
her
cool.
life.
I actually think I like the slower songs better on this album. Like I cannot get around You Should See Me in a Crown and like Bury a Friend. I just can't do it.
There you
I
go.
can.
Yeah.
They're probably my two favorites. But I also do like the quiet ones. I do like When the Party's Over is beautiful, as everyone knows.
It's a beautiful track.
It's a very beautiful track. But I love You Should See Me in a Crown. When I heard that for the first time, because I think that was one of the first singles.
I don't know. It was
album?
a single, but
I know it was pretty early on, and all I knew of her before that was like Ocean Eyes and those definitely like way quieter tracks from before.
yeah.
When I heard that, I was like, that's a huge risk, really, because that would kind of divide some of your fans, I think, but it obviously hasn't.
Well, she said before she wanted to do like every genre on this album because she hates genre restrictions. So
Yeah.
that checks out. That's pretty cool. I think the Ariana Grande album, the vocals on it are so clean. Like
They are clean.
nothing, no music part ever outshines the vocals.
No, she is definitely front and center. That's for sure.
Yeah, which I really like. I reckon it's really cool, especially on the more slower songs.
Yeah.
The R&B tracks for sure.
Strip back songs. Yeah.
I think I found through like that album, I actually heard a lot of like Channel Orange. I don't know if you guys ever really got around Channel Orange when it came out, Frank.
I need to.
But a lot of the ballads and stuff that she does, like I found it a lot in Needy. It's like the really nice, like just the way the melody flows. It's really like big but subtle at the same time.
Yeah.
I
Those
really like
lo-fi
that.
chords and
Yeah. That's probably my
this
favorite
does seem
song
like
on
there's a bit
the
of like a
album.
lo-fi filter, like a filter on this whole album, kind of, especially
in
just
parts.
with
They
And
were
I
definitely
loved that. I loved it because
Yeah.
I did not expect it at all. I thought it was gonna be really
Made
like
it a bit more moody
overproduced
and-
yeah,
a bit more textured.
it was
think
so
I
good.
actually
I
like-
that was like my favorite part about it.
I like the deep cuts, like those songs, more than the
Same.
singles. I like Thank You Next is obviously a great track, really.
Yeah.
But I was not a fan of Seven Rings, as we were saying before.
Neither, yeah.
Neither.
But yeah, all the like quieter songs, not quieter, but just subtle songs. I was a fan of.
The less trap inspired.
Yeah.
tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found a couple of the hooks were a little bit I think it was NASA. Just a
Yeah.
little bit not just
That's
a bit.
that's my
not
guilty pleasure
uninspired.
song.
Oh, there you go.
Because I know exactly what you're saying. Like it's kind of like
I've just heard it
basic
before.
and cringe, and there's not much creativity
There you
to
go.
it, but it's a bit banging though. I think it's
Okay.
like, it's not bad. It's
Yeah.
got like a good vibe to it. That's why I loved, because I really liked it on this album. I expected it to
Yeah.
be kind of over the top, overproduced, and then I hear
Okay.
hear tracks like that, and I was like, cool, I'm about it.
I liked NASA up until the chorus. I've actually got in my
Yeah,
notes because
okay.
I
I'll
was
agree with
writing
that.
notes as I wrote them, and it's like, I can hear more Frank in it, and really nice setup, and then the next line just says, chorus is trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just comes in and it's a bit too cheesy,
Yeah.
and it
No,
ruins
you're
the
right.
song for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the
When
song
it
after that?
spins.
Is it Bloodline?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of
That's like the
Bloodline
reggae
either.
one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't like reggae in
I
trap.
didn't mind Bloodline. I
Nah,
liked like
I-
the trumpet,
Yeah.
the trumpets part.
I feel like
That
the
was
only
pretty cool.
person that can do that is Rihanna.
Jason Derulo.
Like whenever anyone else, maybe Jason.
And the trumpets like
Yeah,
and the
but-
trumpets.
Yeah, that's exactly. I've been trying to figure out what it reminds me of, and that is it, for sure.
there you go.
And the trumpets, there you go.
Is that Jason Derulo?
Yeah, I
Is
think
that Chris Brown?
I don't know,
They all mesh.
Yeah, they do.
They're all very similar. They all definitely use trumpets in their songs for sure. Oh, and I'm thinking of Jason Derulo, Talk Dirty to Me.
Oh yeah,
that's the same track as well.
I think there was a lot at that time. There was a running trend for a bit of the trumpets.
There would have been a trumpet player boom.
Yeah,
everyone going to Los
trumpet
Angeles
player.
and getting on the street playing trumpet.
Finally, my big break.
A big break lasted 3 months. All right, trumpets out.
And then as soon as Ari put this out, they were right back in. But I think definitely the quieter songs were my favorite of this album. I think.
Okay, here's a take. I reckon I would have liked a couple features on this album.
Yeah, I was expecting features, and there were points
I
where
would have liked just a chat, like a 2 minute, just a generic Future verse or two. I think I would have suited it. Or like some MC like that.
I think there's an extended version, or like just like a remix of Thank You Next in, not Future. Who's the other dude? I don't know. 2 Chainz, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2 Chainz would have gone on this as well.
I think 2 Chainz. I can't look it up now, but I'm pretty sure he's like done a verse on one of these songs, or unless I'm getting it mixed up with another Ariana Grande song, but in like a live version or something like that. I'm pretty sure I read that.
Yeah, because Pharrell's on Sweetener. He's on one of the big tracks off that.
Oh, really?
So someone like that. That's a good track as well. I forget what the track's name is. But I was just hoping for something else like that. And when I did see down the track list, I got about a couple of songs through. I was like, is there any features? And there wasn't.
Yeah, no. A few of those middle tracks could have definitely benefited from that. Did you look much into the lyrics of Billie Eilish's album?
Yeah, I did. I like always, when we go through them through the week, I always get on Genius and go through the album and like read the lyrics as I'm going.
I think All the Good Girls Go to Hell, how it's about like climate change and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you read that? I think that's when you actually know what that is about and read the lyrics, I think it's really well really well written.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Getting back to school.
I thought the lyrics for what one is it? Bury a Friend pretty cool. I think it was that one that she's talking about the monster under her bed, and it's from that perspective, but she's actually talking about her as being her own worst enemy or something. Yeah, it's very meta. But
a lot of the songs,
very cool that she did it.
A lot of the songs are kind of point out what she doesn't like about herself.
Yeah, I thought
like
they were a lot more.
Yeah,
very like unique song types. Not song types, but like the content.
Yeah,
you don't hear a lot of the stuff in there. Like even Zanny.
Yeah. I like that. I was going to say Zanny was one of my.
I thought that was cool
in terms of lyrics.
She's not. It would have been easy for her to just pretend to be like. Yeah.
I think everyone's been in that situation as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I thought it was kind of related.
Depends which way you look at it.
Zanny was one of those songs that when you listen to it, because it's so stripped back, you put yourself in the situation that she's singing about.
Yeah, absolutely.
When those songs happen, that's a good one. When that happens.
And when she does sing it in such a soft manner, it's like kind of like she doesn't want the people around her to hear what she's saying. It's kind of like a thought.
Yeah.
Which suits
that's a good take. Wait, there's a word for that. There's a word for it's not the
soliloquy.
Yeah, I don't know, something like that. We should look that up.
Oh, it's on the Simpsons app. I think it's soliloquy.
Yeah, where you're singing in a way that describes what you're singing about, or vice versa.
Yeah.
System of a Down do it a lot, actually. Yeah, Ariana Grande's lyrics, they're mostly about, pretty much every single song is about relationships and failed relationships and problems with relationships.
I was going to say, that's probably my issue with that album, actually, is probably lyrics. Because just in comparison, I don't know if it was to stand alone and I wasn't comparing it to Billie Eilish's album, I don't know if I would think the same, but just in comparison, it's kind of boring because it's just they're kind of predictable, I think, the lyrics. Whereas
it is kind of like she's just kind of getting it out, though, especially after realising it was like a 2-month turnaround.
Yeah,
like
just
the
not
stuff
as
about a lot about shopping,
Yeah.
which everyone can relate to as well. I like impulse bought a camera the other day. I was like, yeah, I've been there. Or like I bought a tech deck as well
Did
a
you?
couple of days ago. Yeah, me
that's-
and Dom are going to get back into it.
God, what a
That
treat.
That wasn't really impulse, but I've been thinking about that for a while.
Where'd you get that from?
But
Online?
yeah,
That's awesome. How
a
much?
fingerboard, not a tech deck. A replica skateboard, like $25. Pretty
Fancy.
spanner.
$25
For a
for
toy
a little
skateboard.
toy. That's sick.
For a die-cast skateboard. Thank you very much. And a toy.
Yeah, no, you're right. No,
Yeah.
they're so fun.
There you go. Yeah, relatable.
Put some work into that. Well, the
Yeah.
song "Fake Smile" is about apparently do you remember in 2017 when she was playing the show in England and the
Yeah, the
suicide
Manchester
bomber?
bombings.
I completely
Yeah.
forgot about that. How mental is that? 23 people died. It was
Yeah,
It's
it's insane.
in Manchester. Yeah, Manchester Arena. It was the deadliest attack in the UK since the 2005
The
London
bombings.
bombings.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And it was her show. So
I actually
No,
forgot
you-
about that till just now. Didn't
Same.
think about that to
Yeah.
listen to the album. That's
You think a lot of people like maybe wouldn't come back from that, like all the shit that she's gone through.
absolutely, yeah.
But
Absolutely.
she's putting
gone,
out like
gone
a
through a
great
lot.
album.
A few of the songs on the album, like you can tell what she's really singing about though. But you're right, like a lot of the songs are very generic and could be about anything.
Yeah, not all of them. There are like some. Yeah, I do like "Fake Smile" and "Ghostin'" about Mac. That's,
Okay, that was very an atmospheric track.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like that track.
Yeah, had a
And
cool
I think
outro
the
as
lyrics are really good, but more just I think I like Billie's more because there's just more difference, like about like song subjects throughout the album, which makes them stand out more. I think.
Yeah. What about so it's hard instrumentation. It's just so much bass on both of these albums.
There's a lot of trap influence.
Yeah.
On both.
yeah.
I think the choices of the sounds they use are pretty, especially on the Billie Eilish album. They're pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Like there's
they are
in
awesome.
the song
Absolutely.
"Ilo Milo," it's got like the glockenspiel type ascending melody, and it just works so well with like the feel of the track and the bass behind it. I think
Yeah.
some top notch instrument choices, especially on Billie Eilish's album.
That's true.
Have you
I do
seen
like the
Yeah.
orchestral moments on Thank You Next as well though.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
same.
it is at the end of the first track, Imagine.
Yeah.
It really opens up to like a big crescendo moment.
Yeah. I really like
Yeah.
that actually.
Hey, in the
Is it-
bridge of that song.
There's cops.
Okay, have you seen the video of the guy? I think it's on one of the singing shows. Don't know what country, but he's singing so high pitched, and then it became like a video, and then the caption's always like the mosquito in your room when you're trying to get to sleep.
Yeah,
Have
like
you-
the dolphin.
Have you
dolphin
seen
sounds.
that video? He's like, it's like super high pitched.
No, I haven't.
In the well,
Yeah.
if anyone's listening, or Adam, you should go look that video up and then go listen to the bridge of Imagine by Ariana Grande. It's that noise. It's so
Oh,
high
really?
pitched. It's like this like screaming note.
She gets right up in a
Yeah.
upper register.
Hey,
Know that.
she rips. She has such a good voice.
Well, she's like Mariah Carey. She can do those whistle tones that like
Well, that's
not,
what it is. It's like a
Not
whistle.
many
Yeah.
people can do.
Nah,
It's
she
crazy.
she goes hard.
They do kind of pierce the ears, but in
Yeah.
a good way.
Yeah. All the layering is really beautiful as well.
Yeah. I really like the flow of Ariana Grande's album. I'd actually say I like the flow more on that album than Billie Eilish's. What do you think about
Really?
that? Yeah. I just think it all.
I disagree.
I just
Yeah, I disagree.
I'm a fan of albums that know what the sound is about. I love how Billie Eilish's is so diverse, but it just, I don't know. Having Zanny come out of Bad Guys, like the second out song on the album, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't dig it. I couldn't.
No, I back it. I thought it was.
I
really
feel like
good.
that's where the album properly starts. Like,
Yeah.
because Bad Guy's just the huge banger, the big single. I did not know Bad Guy had that outro as well,
I know.
Yeah.
with the huge
Crazy.
808s. When that
Yeah.
came in, I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, I think Danny where the album like properly starts. I feel like.
Yeah.
That's-
Bad
that's
Guys just like
interesting
I
way to
definitely
look at
skipped over Bad Guy after the first couple listens just because you've already heard it a billion times last year.
Yeah, you know what you're working with.
Yeah.
It still goes like the hardest on the album. In my.
What's your favorite Bad Guy meme? Does anyone have one?
Oh God. It's hard to remember
Mine's,
all of them.
When Mo's like, okay, here's the 411 folks.
Yeah.
He's like, some gangster's dissing your fly girl. And he starts dancing. You know that one, Will?
No, I think I
No,
might be out of
I'll have to
touch,
send it through.
or maybe it's the kids that are wrong. But I don't
Yeah.
know these
Nice.
memes. I don't know these bad guy
Okay.
memes.
You don't
Just
know the
like,
bad
just
guy
something
meme.
dancing to the drop, pretty much.
Oh, is that
Easily the
it?
biggest meme of
Yeah.
last year. Surely.
Yeah.
They were everywhere.
Yeah, I'm out of touch.
Yeah.
You are out of
Oh, well.
touch.
Seymour. Okay.
That's fair.
No, I actually don't remember what that is. Oh well.
No.
I digress. Should we get into these segments?
Yeah,
Yeah.
why not? Let's go.
Alrighty. Let's do the first one. Get inked. If you haven't kept up with the episodes yet, go back and check number 1 and number 2.
Get inked.
Is a segment where we take lyrics from the albums and we make tattoo designs. Bad ones as well. Who wants to go first?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I'll go. So, my Billie Eilish one was just... Have you guys seen the music video for You Should See Me in a Crown?
I have not.
It's just like her pretty much dead-eye to the camera, just with spiders on her, with a crown on. And
Yeah.
that's just pretty much it. It's just a portrait of her
That would be
with
nice.
spiders all over her face and a crown. On preferably the tricep, I would say.
Are we going body parts now where they have to go? I think that should
Maybe.
be part of it, for sure.
If specified, yes. And my one for Ariana Grande. You know the pic of Michael Jordan where he's got like his 6 rings and he's just posing like this?
Yeah.
And you can just see all his rings on his...
Oh, I already know where this is going.
Ah.
This is good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just going to be Ariana Grande, that same pose but with 7 rings.
Nice.
It's pretty shit.
Wait, that's he's fine. That would be good as
I'll
like
have
a
to draw it
portrait.
up. We
yeah.
should draw him up and then like post some, maybe. That
You
could
can
be
do
some
that.
content we can put
I'll draw
out.
it. My
Okay.
drawings would be shocking. Wait, that would be a really good portrait. You should get someone to actually do that.
That'd be cool.
Mine are pretty shit this week. Mine Billie Eilish is from Zanny. So the line, bring ashtrays to the table, and that's about the only thing they share. So the tat is like it's a group of people. They're sitting at a table, but the table's actually an ashtray, so it's the shape of an ashtray.
Okay.
And all
Nice.
the people's brains are like disconnected from their heads, and it's a cut, and it's a
This would be a big tat.
yeah.
Yeah. Is this on your back, I reckon?
No,
This
yeah,
is a
back
big
or stomach
piece.
region. It's a coloured tattoo, so it's a bit more spenno.
Oh.
And all their shirts are orange and their pants are white, so they're like cigarettes sitting at the
Okay.
ashtray
Oh.
table.
That was very... You
Nice.
thought that
It
one
could be
out.
like a poker table. Like they could be playing cards as well.
Yeah. And then Ariana Grande's one. All right, this one is bad. Okay, don't expect big things. Do you know? Remember the photo of Kim Kardashian where she had the she was in the black dress and had the champagne bottle and was going over her head like the
Yeah.
champagne.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's that, but it's actually Ariana Grande, and the champagne bottle brand is called Thank You Next, and then instead of champagne coming. This sucks. And instead of champagne coming out, it's actually the names of her exes that she mentions in the song.
Oh. That's so...
And that's
How
a,
did you even think of that?
I don't know. I let my mind take me where it wants to go. And then that's like all. It's a full arm sleeve.
That's nice.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Don't know how you thought of that.
Both
yeah.
of mine are kind of within the same theme, actually, funnily enough. My first one for Ariana Grande, I think it's from Ghosted, I'm pretty sure. And the line is, every tear's a rain parade from hell. And
Sounds like a
I wanna
My
do that
Chemical.
one.
Sounds like
Yeah.
a My Chemical Romance lyric.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. Yeah, it's pretty dark. And it was just going to be like an umbrella, which is like balls of flames raining onto it. And it just says, parade from hell.
Nice.
And then...
At the gates of hell in the
Yeah.
background.
And then
Yeah.
my other one for Billie Eilish is from all the good girls go to hell, and it is My Lucifer is lonely, and it's just the devil sitting on a park bench by himself.
Nice.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
sick.
That would actually be like a tattoo. Unlike
Yeah.
my ridiculous, blown out of proportion.
Yours is more of an artwork, I think.
Yeah,
like a
I need to
painting.
make them more
Yeah.
tattoos.
You need a
I
canvas.
need to get back to the
That one.
roots. Okay, what about your fattest riff? I actually had a hard time finding like what I thought was the fattest riff for these
Fattest?
albums.
Fattest riff.
for anyone who doesn't know, it's just the thing that we think part of the albums that go the hardest. Don't necessarily need to be guitar riffs, obviously, because there's pretty much no guitars on these albums.
Yeah.
Mine for Billie Eilish was just the intro to Bad Guy.
Okay.
Pretty cliche, pretty obvious one, but the bass, that bass line, I feel like I've heard it a million times, but there's like only a little bit tweaked, like the do. Like it's just and then you stick it behind that fat kick and it just goes hard.
It is a bit of a head bopper. That's for sure.
And then Ariana Grande had the post chorus of Bloodline, the part that we talked about before, the trumpets.
Okay.
We're going back to the Jason Derulo trumpet. Actually, it kind of gave me Bruno Mars vibes.
Yeah.
Aye.
Bruno Mars, that Unorthodox Jukebox album. So I was stoked with it. I thought it was banging.
Nice.
Okay.
What are yours?
You go, Adam.
All right. So I think for Billie Eilish is Bury a Friend. I think like the end of Bury a Friend is pretty hard. And then for Ariana Grande, I had the end of Bad Idea. There's like a bit of a like
the big trap section.
Right at the end. It's like really fat. So
I had the exact two same.
did ya?
Yeah. But for Buried a Friend was more like just the intro. Just with those, it had like the it reminded me of Black Skinhead, where it's just like the vocal just tweaks and goes crazy for it, like one microsecond. Yeah, but the Bad Idea, the end where it just lets the beat play out.
Yeah. So
there's some hi-hats that like go pitched up and down.
Yeah,
I was going to go with that one, but I had a feeling you were both going to do it, and there it is.
There you go.
Okay, we know our fat riffs.
We do know our fat riffs. So what song are you giving the ad to our playlist, which you can find on Spotify, the Record Royale ads? We're going to be adding these songs as well as the past episodes' favorite songs. What are you chucking in this week?
I've got two, but I feel like one of you go first because one of them's just going to be. You're just going to choose one of them for sure.
Adam, you want to go?
So for Ariana, I had Needy. I actually really like that song. I just really like the it's mostly actually like the keys in it, like the synths. I just find it very satisfying to listen to. So I've actually gone back to that one like singularly a few times. And then for Billy, I had Bury a Friend again because I just think that song's heaps good. It's like really good content and like good song idea, and it's just fat. So
yeah, it is.
Nice.
I had Needy as well, so I won't go with that one.
Oh,
Needy was so good though because it's the most like stripped back song on the album, and it's just a bit of a vibe overall to it.
Yeah.
My honorable mention, which is now getting in the playlist, is NASA.
Oh no.
I'm going.
Can we have a vote to not put it in?
No, it's going in. It's going in.
Rats.
It's just I'm going for the verses though. The verse is groovy as hell. Got some nice synth melodies, and then the chorus. Hey, you need a break from the series every once in a while. NASA.
Yeah.
Sorry, boys.
Right.
Anyway,
Okay.
next.
What's the next one?
Brad.
Oh shit! Did you not do your Billie Eilish one?
Oh yeah, what was your Billy?
True. Sorry about that. It was Ilo Milo. I think the fourth last track on the album. It's one of the shorter ones. I just think it's sick. That it's kind of like moody. It's got the cool glockenspiel that I mentioned before. It's really cool.
It was nice.
And when the snare comes in, well, it's like a compressed snare, but in the second chorus, it's just drives it home. I love it. It's a good track.
Right.
I've gone back to that a few times.
Okay. Okay. So I was thinking that one of you would pick When the Party's Over, but you didn't. So I feel like that has to be in there because it is probably the best song on the album.
Song.
But if we're doing honorable mentions, I'll put Zanny in there as well because I just like the message she brings, the idea she brings forth in that one.
Mm-hmm.
And Ariana Grande, I'll probably go In My Head. If you guys remember that one.
Yeah.
The beat's just like pretty atmospheric. I feel like that's like something that if you made and you brought the boys into the room, everyone would just be like, sheesh. So
yeah, that's it. I agree.
I'd really like the beat for it. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, cool. That's cool. Is that? Oh no, me and Adam were on Needy, but I chucked in NASA. I was going to say that could be the first week we haven't all picked the same songs. That's cool.
Yeah.
I think that would be like that because we only just listened to these albums. We didn't really have any pre-favorites kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's cool. Hey, Brad.
Good to see.
Are you good to go for 2 truths and a
Yes.
lie?
Oh, I'm
I am up.
excited.
Let's go. Let's go.
2 truths and a lie.
3 statements. One of them's a lie. Man, I'm going to have to figure out which one it is. Let's go.
He's ready?
Yep.
Okay, number 1. Billie Eilish proclaims that she doesn't sweat. Number 2. While recording the album, Phineas tried putting Billie's childhood toys inside their family piano to dampen and detune the piano. Number 3. Jeanette McCurdy accidentally leaked Ariana Grande's phone number in 2011.
Wait, who's Jeanette
There you
McCurdy? Is that the actor from...
She is from iCarly.
Yeah, plays
If you know
Sam.
her. Yeah, the blonde-haired one.
Yeah.
Yeah, plays Sam. They did another show called Cat and Sam,
Yep.
and they were Nickelodeon's sweethearts.
Okay, number 2, that is surely way too random to make up.
Yeah.
Can you say number 2 again?
That she put the childhood stuffed toys in a family in the piano.
I reckon you're tricking us,
That's
and they've actually put something else in the piano or something like that. Okay, let's go back to number
No,
1
I
though.
wouldn't do yous like
What's
that.
number 1?
Yeah, that she doesn't sweat.
Okay, I think I've heard that before. Where did you read
Yeah.
that? Has she said that in an interview, or what's the go there?
It was in a Nardwuar. Yeah,
What, man?
maybe
Nardwuar.
Nardwuar.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
I think I actually have. But
Any
the other
proof?
2 are so specific.
Any proof to the no sweating one? Has she got it?
I was just taking a word.
Yeah, I
took a
don't.
word.
I don't think we can ask that because then we'll find out too easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's tackle let's go with number 3 for now. Jeanette McCurdy. Did they have beef? Is that I think I remember maybe reading that. So, 2011. Maybe she did leak her phone number. Where did she leak it?
She was doing a live stream,
In
and
2011.
wait. And yeah, she was doing a live stream, and she rang her up, and her voicemail had her number in it, and people got it, and apparently she didn't mind it because her fans were just messaging her and just saying nice things, and she didn't change her number for a couple of days. Apparently she tweeted about it as well, saying she liked it, and she was going to leave it for a bit.
So I reckon. I don't reckon Brad is good enough of a liar to make that up.
Yeah, neither. Okay,
I
number
don't think
2
he has
though.
it in him.
Number 2.
I think-
What were the toys? Any specifics?
Oh, I've got no idea.
We
I don't
talking?
know.
We're talking fluffy toys. We're talking train toys.
I think stuffed animals. Surely,
Stuffed
because if you
animals.
put a big plastic pony in there, it would the strings just wouldn't work in the piano. It's one of them standing up pianos, not like a grand piano.
Yeah, I know.
You
the
know
one.
how, like,
yeah.
Yeah, because the
Right.
pianos are pretty G-tuned and have a lot of sustain. She definitely has the pedal on Phineas while he's working some of these tracks.
That's
So, yeah,
definitely
take
the
your
lie.
guess.
That's the lie for sure. I reckon.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
That's-
with that as well. I'm gonna go with. Oh, I think he wants us to believe that now. Oh, is he?
Come on,
I'm gonna say the second one's a
10
lie.
seconds.
You're going with 2. I'm gonna go with number 3. I'll say 3 is the lie.
Right. So number 1, Billy proclaims that she doesn't sweat. Number 2, Phineas chucked toys in the piano. Number 3, Jeanette McCurdy leaked her number. Number 2 is a lie, Adam. Congratulations.
Ah,
Of course
yes.
it was. I should
I
have
just
just
made
went with it.
made that up. It's like something. I just made that up on the spot this morning.
Right, you made up that whole statement.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
because I thought the pianos do sound like really old and detuned.
There
Oh.
you
So
go.
like, maybe she put toys in there.
I knew it was gonna be number 2.
Yeah, you should.
I just wanted to
mate.
change it up.
That's alright.
Very
Right,
nice.
good stuff. Alrighty. You know what time it is. What time is it?
Time to rate.
Yes. Hey, Brad, last week you made up some measurements. Have you got any for this
I
week?
do not have any this week. I'll try and think of someone on the spot.
I'll go
Should
on
we
the
go,
spot. Let's go Ariana Grande. We can do
Rings.
rings.
Yeah.
And Billie Eilish, we
Okay.
can do
Bad guys.
Zannies.
Zannies. Yeah.
Zannies.
Okay.
All right, so
How many Zannies we
Billie
popping?
Eilish, how many Zannies out of 10? Brad, want to go first?
Okay. I'll give it a 7 Xannies. I'm going to take 7 Xannies tonight. Because, I really like the instrumentation. I think when they speak Billie Eilish, they should speak Phineas because they work so well together.
Yeah, production's such a big
knack for
part of it.
melody, snakes up and down so well with her voice. I wouldn't give it high because, honestly, I think I would like to hear her sing just a little bit more.
Yep.
I'd love to, like, there's a couple tracks so I'd think, like, oh, if she just belted out some, like, crazy melody
Yeah.
to make a crescendo on the track, it would just take it to another level.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a 7. 4, Thank You next.
Nah, wait, we'll do Billie
Let's
Eilish first,
say-
aren't we? Oh, no, no.
true. Okay, yeah.
How do we do
We'll
it?
go through.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, go through. So, yeah, Adam, you go.
I'm going to give Billie an 8 because I just think it's super unique. I think it's going to leave a long legacy. I think we're going to see a lot of Billie Eilish copycats in the future.
Mm-hmm.
That's my forecast. And I think it's just like really good songwriting, really good lyrical content, and obviously the production is insane. So, yeah, I'm going to give it an 8. There
Lovely.
you go.
Very cool.
I'd also like to add that I don't think this is even Billie Eilish's best work yet. I think she's
No,
got
I think she's got
That's
even
yeah.
more time.
She's going to come back
To come
and just
into
be
her own.
even bigger. It's
Yeah.
going to be massive.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad, but I'm giving it a 6. I really, really love the production, and I love a lot of the songs, but I can't get around the whisper vocals, and I can't get around the songs like Bury a Friend and You Should See Me in a Crown. I just think those songs are too over the top, and when, I don't know, I think the songs like Zanny and Ilo Milo, which are kind of stripped back and more chill, that's where she shines, in my opinion. But I really respect and have no beef with this album. I just can't see myself ever going back to it. So I'm giving it a 6. All right, Brad.
All right.
Right, I've got to figure out a number because I don't even have one for Thank You next. I'm going to say,
neither.
if I gave that a 7, can we do half points or not? We're not doing half points?
Nah, no half rings. Can't get a half
Okay.
ring, mate.
No half. Yeah, that's true. You're right. I'll just give it a 6 then because I was going to say a 5.5, but I'll give it a 6. I just think some of these, I think the highs are high, but just some of these hooks are just a bit one-dimensional and repetitive, and sometimes I feel like I've heard some of this stuff before.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
as a vocalist, she's one of the best there is.
for sure, for sure.
And I think she should, for her next record, get a bit more experimental.
yeah.
If she had Phineas by her side, like, who knows what they could do.
Oh, the world would be her oyster, wouldn't it?
Exactly. So there you go.
Adam?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 5. I thought it was... I enjoyed listening to it because I just have never really listened to a pop... like just a straight pop record like that, which it kind of is. And I enjoyed it for that, but nothing really stood out. Not much stood out to me, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
There weren't many parts in it where it took my breath away or anything like that. It was okay. And obviously her singing is, really good, but yeah, I don't know. Just didn't find it as interesting in
For
comparison
sure.
to Billie.
Yeah, nah.
Facts.
Cool. 5
Yeah.
rings. Coincidentally, I'm actually going to give it 7 rings out of 7 rings. That's the song title. I liked listening to this album more than Billie Eilish. Every time I had to put on Billie Eilish's album this week, I thought it was a bit of a punish. And then I'd chuck Thank You Next on, and I was vibing. I thought it was really good. I think there's some banging songs in there. There's some really cool melodies. There is a few that are low points, hence why only a 7 rings out of 10 possible rings. But I don't know. I can see myself going back to a few of these songs. I think I'm gonna chuck a few in my playlist. I really like it.
There you go.
But so let's do some maths. Billie Eilish, When We All Fall Asleep, where do we go? Gets 21 Xannies out of 30. Ariana Grande's that's a lot of Xannies in one night.
Yeah.
Ariana Grande, Thank You Next, 18 rings out of 30 rings. Billie Eilish gets the dub this week. Woohoo!
Good on you, Billie.
Well done, Billie.
Ding,
Nice
ding.
one.
Let's see if she's listening from her place in LA. We'll be able to tell. The System Boys are tuning in right now. I'm sure they're stoked with the result. And
Yeah.
LBJ, LeBron James. the kid,
LeBron James?
the kid from Akron. Hey, next
Nice.
week on the show, this is the first. It's going to be bloody sick. We're really stoked. We are having our good friends and amazing artists, Crater Face. We got Harry, we got Chester from Crater Face, local Newcastle boys, killing it at the moment. They just released their new single, Bankroll, and we're going to have them on the show, and they have chosen 2 records we're going to be comparing. We have Rodeo by Travis Scott and Mr. Thug Isolation by Lil Ugly Mane. Boy, am I going in blind, but boy, am I keen.
Very excited.
I need to check that second one out.
Yeah, so, absolutely. So the Crater Face lads, with every guest we have on this show, we're going to let them choose the albums, and they're the 2 records they've chosen, and we're stoked. We're really keen. It's going to be similar this week, I think, going in pretty blind.
Should be some good banter, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun having it on the show. Cool. Thank you so much for checking out another episode of Record Royale. Follow us on the socials at Record Royale, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Be sure to listen to these 2 albums, Travis Scott, Lil Ugly Mane, throughout the week. Listen with us. Get in contact if you want to know anything or have a dig at us for this episode. Cool. We'll see you next week. See you, Adam. See you, Brad. Lovely stuff.
Cheers.
Bye.